episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. I'm your host, Edward Anderson. I'm actually just on here. I actually don't even have nothing unique to talk about. I'm like an hour away from where I am, so I'm on I'm on the same fucking road for like 55 miles, so like 70 miles actually. So I might as well, chop it up with y'all for a minute. Appreciate y'all checking out my last live stream. Appreciate y'all checking out my uploads. I actually got an upload I'm gonna launch later on today. Talking about, women lusting after Anthony Joshua. I got another video I want to put out there talking about naked moms and talking about this debate that's apparently on TikTok that I've seen with a couple of creators that y'all are familiar with on TikTok, talking about like they're really commentating on the debate versus having an actual opinion, because their opinion is the obvious opinion, which is what the fuck is wrong with y'all? What the fuck is wrong with y'all? I want to say this right now, and I'll be very clear here. There's a lot of black women. There's a lot of women that are horrible mothers, but I'm seeing nothing but black creators speak on this, so I'm assuming it's a black thing. Like, let me be very clear here. If your kid, I don't care how old they are. I really don't care how old they are, but obviously this is a big deal because we're talking about minors. If you're walking around your house naked and you have children, obviously you can do whatever you want to do if you're in the house by yourself and you live by yourself. Let's be very clear here. Let me say this in a way that people can understand it before I give my opinion. If you had a roommate, women that roommate with each other, I understand that y'all may have the bathroom look. I understand that y'all have you're in a locker room look. We all went to high school, but cheerleaders, all of that. We get that. So I get that look, that completely dressed down pajama look. I get all that. I'm not talking about that. Do you walk around your house naked? Just bare chested and just some panties on with a bitch you roommate with that you're not fucking? Before we even bring children into it. Hell, y'all don't even walk around like that when y'all are in relationships with dudes. For real. So if you don't walk around like that with other women that you're roommating with, why would you walk around? Why would you do that with children? And your children at that, with children in general. Why would you do that? I really do not understand what would, and this is what happens. I've said this before and I'm going to say this again. Women are not governed by laws. Not really. The laws and the legal system is not really designed to deal with women. Because with women, it would be more rehabilitating versus just park your ass in there and try to make money off of you, at a cheap price, cheap labor. The laws are designed to govern men, and it's designed to control men. Social norms are designed to control women and govern female behavior. And so when you remove social norms and you just allow anything goes, women will slowly spin out of orbit. And things will seem crazier and crazier and crazier because it never stops. It never comes to an equilibrium. It never comes down to like, okay, this is who they're going to be. They will all, it's just like if you do something that is addicting, you do more and more and more until it kills you. Or until you have an adverse reaction. Unless you actually take a conscious effort to step away from whatever you're doing. To step away from what you're doing, what you were doing. If you don't make a constant, conscious effort to step away from what you were doing, then you're going to keep taking, if you have no discipline, it's going to fuck you up. And so, women of today, things are so normal that, you know, even in the early 2000s, there's certain things that women pull that your children will be taken away from you. You would see the social services, that guardian ad litem, and your kids would be gone. If you were showing titty and areola in your fucking house, bitch, you're a fucking animal in front of your kids. You need to be gone. You need to be gone. You are creating sexual predators, men. You're creating straight up whores, and daughters. And this is the type of bullshit that these women are doing. A lot of, like, to the extent, like, and here's my thing. I didn't bring this conversation up, but anybody, you got to think about it. I told you all that people want to use this as a weapon. I'm going to go look for comments of people defending this, because I want to actually see motherfuckers that try to defend this shit. I really do. I want to see black people that actually even put in a comment section and try to defend that shit. When you know good and goddamn well, if that shit was men, that motherfucker would be in jail. Tamper Supreme, you come in my comment section and you ask me that dumbass question. You don't have to listen. If you want to talk about a fucking war, you can pull up NPR. I'm sure Charles will talk about it. Why come in my comment section and ask me that dumbass question? Am I supposed to check in with you before I go live? I said at the beginning of my motherfucking stream that I'm just shooting the shit because I am driving. I'm literally like 80 miles from my house. Am I allowed to do that on my channel? Can I do that? Because here's how somebody, a reasonable person, would say, you coming in my shit in order to tell other people not to watch my shit because you don't like what the fuck I'm talking about. A reasonable person would think that, and a reasonable person would block your ass because of that shit. A reasonable person would think that, and a reasonable person would block your ass for that. There are many content creators in this bitch. Why the fuck is your first comment? Well, what the fuck he say? We are in war. How will this affect black men? And you know what's funny? I just came from Camp Lejeune. That's actually where I'm driving from. Camp Lejeune is in the corner of the state. That's actually where I'm driving from. I was just on base. I'm not in the military. Ask me how I was on base. But I was on base. I was just on base. Like, literally, no cap. I'm literally driving on I-40 from Camp Lejeune. I mean, don't get quiet now. I mean, I don't know why you, or the other way, how would this affect black men? I mean, if you're not in the military, it won't. If you're not in the military, it won't. If you're in the military, it won't affect you that much either. It's a fucking Latin America. It's not Iraq. And we're not really at war. Technically, only a real war can only be declared by Congress. I know what the news is. Trump snatched it. Basically, you're just talking about an international kidnapping. America doesn't go to war with Venezuela. So it's not, I mean, how would this affect black men? How would it? Oh, okay, because you respect my point. I mean, it's not. How did the war in Afghanistan affect black men? How did the Nigerian strikes affect black men? We're not really at war. We're no more at war than we've been at war. We're not really at war. We're not really at war at all. Trump snatched the motherfucker up. That's what he did. It happened to be a head of state. Trump said he wanted Maduro out of there. I mean, we're at war. What is Venezuela gonna do? If we snatch them up, what the fuck is Venezuela gonna really do? They're not gonna do anything. So it's just news. It's news now. Venezuela's got a lot of oil and he wants him gone. I mean, it's a bold shit, but then again, bombing Nigeria on Christmas is pretty bold too. Yeah, it doesn't affect black men. It doesn't affect black men. And even if you're in the military, it's not some crazy deployment. Now, if we had to deal with China, that's a different story. I understand what you're saying now. I thought you was asking me why the fuck am I talking about what I'm talking about. Now you're asking me, you were asking me, okay, I get what you were saying. It's just you jumping in on that. This is why you say, hey, what's up? I got a question for you. Not, hey, what's up? We at war. Like, I'm thinking you saying what I'm saying ain't important. Yeah. Like I said, I was just coming from Camp Lejeune. It ain't even gonna affect them. No, it's good. Ain't nothing apologize. I understand what you're saying now. It's just motherfuckers coming in here being stupid from time to time. But yeah, he snatched them up. I didn't believe he actually, I knew they were strikes at 3 o'clock in the morning. I didn't believe he actually snatched them up though. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. It really goes to show you that Trump don't give a fuck. See, that's some disrespect. You don't even see them like boldly, openly do that with African leaders. That goes to show you America absolutely don't be respecting these leaders, these Latin American leaders. The fact that he went over there and just snatched his ass up like that, he snatched Maduro up like a bitch. And he's a whole head of state. That's some bold shit. And a move like that, you can't really justify, honestly, without an act of Congress. But Mike Johnson's a pussy, so he ain't gonna do nothing. Because they in the same party. I mean, should they know what's going on? Sure, black men should always be informed, but this is not really gonna affect black men, no. Perfect timing, this old change taking forever. This oil change. Someone needs to snatch Trump. I mean, you know, people have taken a shot at him. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. I mean, at the end of the day, Trump is the president, regardless whether you like it or not. People need to make peace with that. Be mad at them for pushing Kamala out there. Yeah, so, but that's crazy. 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, they snatched that motherfucker up. I'm sorry, man. Them new Corvettes, them Corvettes they came out with last year, yeah, if y'all got questions, I know I talked all that shit, but if y'all got questions, ask it. Cause I'm just in. But yeah, that naked mom situation, I'm curious. I want to go through the damn comments and see who's out here defending that shit. That's some niggerish behavior. And it's obvious you defending your mama. That's obvious, weirdos. You're literally creating sexual predators doing this shit. But it just goes to show you, you know, like I said, man, I'm sorry, bitch, a bitch like that, it's like either you gonna give me them kids or I'm not dealing with them kids no more. I'm just starting over. Because that's what you call a culturally transmitted disease. Okay, I see. I was wondering where the shit was. Peace to all, my fault. This isn't war. This is death. I mean, yeah, that nigga pulling some Crips and blood shit. It's about regime change to save the U.S. dollar. U.S. put its dick on the table. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're trying to scrounge up oil in order to deal with our fucking you know, all this money for all these wars. Yeah, I can see that. And then a lot of y'all don't know. I need to share that video that really goes through the history of the United States relation with Venezuela, because once you know that, you know that. Yeah, gas prices are down. I just filled up for $2.34, and that's very low for out here. This was merely in Venezuela. Now, if Trump snatched you, he wouldn't snatch you. He wouldn't snatch you. He wouldn't be able to. Trump wouldn't. They wouldn't be able to. It don't even gotta be she. If it was like, yeah, that's crazy. It ain't. I mean, it's still bold, even for Venezuela. Gas should be $1 now. I mean, well, you know, they don't give a fuck about gas as far as our prices. He said three kids. I'm in the Korean. It's wild that they captured. Yeah, I'm surprised they were able to capture them. The U.S. is again enforcing the Monroe Doctrine. We are basically U.S. territories at this point. Y'all, I mean, without no obligations, I wouldn't even say all that. I will say this, fellas, you better get your finances right before we are headed for some tough years coming out. Or you learn how to sell some products. What's the game plan to survive the AI? Hey man, you better get in the supply side and start selling shit and make AI an asset, not a liability. I'm not worried. I don't make money off jobs. I sell shit. Learn a trade, several. So yeah, it's called sales. That's what it's called. Trump had approval from who? You said Trump had approval from Congress. I mean, if he let them know, I mean, you know, it's bold because they're willing to do what it takes to save the U.S. I mean, you know. Ooh, $1.79. Holy shit. That's because most of them areas ain't got no motion like that. All them areas you name, well, Nashville's still Nashville. That's crazy. I learned electrical. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you can learn a trade, but a lot of y'all are kind of on the older end. So it's like, it's a little late for y'all to be doing that. But, you know, nobody wants to sell. See, I make money in sales. So I don't got to worry about, you know, all that shit. Some of y'all are like my age trying to learn a trade. The time to do that shit is like late 20s at the latest. That's me. I mean, it ain't got it. It's e-commerce. I mean, TikTok Shop ain't really affiliate. It is, but it ain't. E-commerce. There's other ways other than affiliate marketing. Even though affiliate marketing is a way I do it, but there's other ways too. Ad revenue. You know, it's a lot of different ways to skin that cat. Don't believe that's the only way. Yeah, but I get it, Tam. But Tam was excited, you know, all that shit. Yeah, I heard that too. I do that in BGS to think with in the chat to think with BGS. I mean, yeah, that's definitely a mentality. It's never too late to learn. I mean, I'm talking about for me. And should I learn coding with AI coming up? I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, that's not really a question for me. That's really a question for Mook. Because I'm not a coding expert. So I can't really tell you how deep that's going to be. I would ask him. We got people that know more about coding than I do. I use AI on the other side of it, not really coding it, but prompt engineering. Yeah, it can, because AI is getting better. AI is getting better. Hold on one second. Yeah, but it's crazy what's going on in the It's crazy. Especially on the weekend, too. Going on in the It's crazy. Especially on the weekend, too. He said, I hate AI. Well, it ain't going nowhere, man. You better take advantage of that shit. And, you know, China is further ahead of us on AI. So motherfuckers talk about what they hate. Hey, man, I see it as an opportunity. Yeah, and I'm taking advantage of the cheap gas while I can. All right. All right. Yeah, that's my thing. You gotta get in the supply side. Everybody looking at how to get a job, and again, that's why, you know, it's not just about internet with AI. AI gives you the opportunity to kind of cut down on certain processes and make you be able to project more. But anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go. I actually gotta go. Let me let y'all go. Like I said, be looking out for those videos. With that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.